Well, we have a system on the west coast that'll be sweeping across the country here for Thanksgiving, bringing rain and snow to the northeast parts of the central U.S. So we have a system in the Pacific that is making its way into California. This is not a repeat atmospheric river event, but it is bringing some rain to central and southern California and also some snow in the higher elevations there in the Sierra Nevada. And this system and moisture will track east across the central U.S. into portions of the northeast and mid-Atlantic. And as I mentioned, the real moisture plume, that tropical moisture, what we call an atmospheric river that gets pushed out ahead of some Pacific cold air, really not going to play into this. So there will be some rain and snowfall, significant snow, in fact, in the mountains, but not a repeat of what they had last week. So that is some, well, there, but still the liquid equivalent is going to be a few inches of precip here in the mountains. But again, this is good moisture. This is what recharges the aquifers across California. So they'll be measuring the snowfall there in feet. Of course, this time more in the central Sierra Nevada versus it was more northern California last week. So kind of spreading out the love as far as moisture goes. But that system will continue to track across the Rockies, bringing more snow to the mountains in Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, and then rain here across parts of Nebraska, Missouri, southern Illinois. But as it heads into the northeast, we're going to see rain and snow develop for Thanksgiving. One system moving through today, mostly rainfall, but that second system that'll be coming in from California eventually will bring rainfall and snow into upstate New York, Pennsylvania, lake effect snows as the cold air that many of us are experiencing in the north central U.S. spreads east. So we're talking 1 to 2 inches of liquid equivalent precipitation here through Saturday with these two systems today and then again on Thanksgiving. And snowfall too. You can kind of see the lake effect bullseyes here. Those are lake effect snow bands that will be developing as very cold air moves across the relatively warm Great Lakes. But then widespread snowfall as well into the mountains of West Virginia, New Hampshire into Vermont, and also parts of Maine. Also want to take a look here at the La Nina update. Still looking at a likelihood of a weak La Nina here, mostly just for the winter period. Once we head into spring, it looks as though we head pretty quickly into a neutral phase. This is looking at sea surface temperature anomalies or difference from normal since late September. And you can see that it hasn't really been a big change in the magnitude or expansion of those colder waters, but there are definitely below normal surface water temperatures. And again, it is expected to be a weak La Nina. So there's some questions as to how much of an impact that'll have on the North American winter. Most models have us just dipping to about a half a degree Celsius below normal just in that midwinter period. So the updated official forecast from NOAA for the winter still calls for the highest likelihood of colder than normal temperatures into the Dakotas, Montana, and then up into Western Canada with potentially much of Minnesota as well into that. Above normal precip for the Great Lakes into Wisconsin, also the Pacific Northwest, and then below normal precip for the South. So this is a pretty typical La Nina setup. But again, just how big of an impact will La Nina have on the magnitude of those typical scenarios of colder weather in the Northwest, drier weather in the South remains to be seen. But Thanksgiving will bring some rain and snow to parts of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic.